How we doing, squad? Where's the squad at? Let's get the squad in here. I need the sourdough squad to show up. Drop those SDSs in the chat when you are here. We'll let everyone get up to speed and we'll get in here and then we'll get jumping right in. I was really excited I'm really excited to dive into the tape. It was a lot of eye-opening information to come from the tape study and the tape review. What's up, Chris? Tape study and the tape review that came from Arizona versus the 49ers. What's good, Peyton? We'll let everyone slowly trickle in here, and then we'll get this thing rolling. Once everyone gets in here, we'll get vibing. But if you could smash that like button, help get this thing into the algorithm, we'll be good to go. We see you guys. What is going on? Obviously, some of the news to come out from today, I talked about it a little bit earlier with Jason Aponte when he was on with me. We were talking about the Brandon Ayuk situation. We were talking about the quote that came out today from John Lynch on KMBR. Essentially, John Lynch says Brandon Ayuk is not making the strides that he would like to see out of Brandon Ayuk. And I think 49er fans would argue they would like to see strides out of everyone on the offense, not just Brandon Ayuk. I think there's a level to this that, there's layers. There's levels, as they say. What's going on, Jose? Debbie says, yes, a lot was revealed from watching the All 22. Absolutely. And it always is. That's why I hold my my offensive line critiques until I watch the All 22, because the whole story isn't told until you really, really, really dive into it. So what we're going to do, we see the squad. Let's go. We're going to break down the tape. So one of the things that, because we're talking about Brandon Ayuk, we're talking about Brandon Ayuk's usage. We've been talking about the doghouse today because, of course, it was brought up by John Lynch and reiterated to the fan base from the general manager that Brandon Ayuk is seemingly not hitting the strides that they want him to meet internally. I think the hard thing that fans have trouble with is when they watch Brandon Ayuk. Brandon Ayuk looks like one of the best players on the field. So I think clearly there's some other things going on behind the scenes. Whatever that is, we don't know. So all we can do is kind of look at what we see on tape. And so I had put this thing out on Twitter, because I noticed this body language from Kyle Shanahan and Brandon Ayuk on a very specific play. So since we happen to be talking about Brandon Ayuk quite a bit today, I'm going to start with that play. And so I'll show you some of the body language stuff that I saw. And you can help tell me, do you think I'm being crazy? Do you think I'm looking too far into this? Because I was one of the guys when all this stuff went down after week one, the split reps and limited targets. To me, it felt a lot more than a ramp up from an injury, which is what we were sold. Clearly, that's not the case. Clearly, there is some maturity or I don't know. There's some other things going on. But I want to look at this clip because it caught my eye. I wasn't even looking for it. I'm not gonna lie. I was hunting the sideline for every body language. It just happened to glance across my screen. I caught it, and I want to see what you guys think about it. If you guys think I may be looking too far into this, or do you think this is kind of indicative of kind of some of the vibe that we're feeling around this team, and so on and so forth. So I want to be able to bring that up. Let me pull that up, and I'll get my screen shared here. Bang, bang. I don't want you guys, and you might get let down. You guys might not think it's anything. But I thought it was interesting based on how I scout and how I do everything. All right, let's start here. And I like this rep for a lot of reasons. This is the Brandon Ayuk catch on the sideline from Trey Lance. So let me get it queued up. We got it right here, right? Yeah, it's coming up. So first thing I want to focus. Actually, let's just go through. Let's watch the whole play throughout. Let's watch the whole play throughout. Oh, look at that. There's Kyle. It doesn't look like anything, right? At first glance. Not a big deal, right? So again, that's why I said I don't want to get you guys' hopes up. But to me, this means a lot. Now we're going to slow it down in real time. So you let me know what you think. So I want to set the context. Football players are the most spatially aware people on the face of this earth. In regards to spatial awareness, they know exactly where they are in the field. They know exactly where their sideline is. They know these things. So I found it very interesting where Brandon Ayuk looked right away when he got tackled. He instantly looked to the sideline. Again, just slowing it down. Instantly looked to the sideline. Hold on. I'm missing a crucial piece. Here. Hold on a sec. Okay. I think we're ready now. So it's the eye contact. Watch the eye contact. So look at where Kyle's looking. Kyle's looking straight at Brandon Ayuk. We already got the fist bump out of Kyle. Kyle liked it, right? Good stuff. Kyle liked it. Fist bump. Nothing wrong there. But this is where, to me, it was interesting. You have Kyle Shanahan staring straight at Brandon Ayuk. Where does Brandon Ayuk look? Boom. Snapped his head to Kyle. That's why I set the tone for spatial awareness. Snapped his head to Kyle, but watch Kyle's head the second he realizes Brandon Ayuk is looking at him. So let's try and time it up. Again, we're watching both. Look, Kyle's still looking right dead at him. Oh, right when Brandon makes eye contact, like I feel like they make eye contact and both turn their head. Again, in real time, it really doesn't look like a lot. But this to me just seems interesting. Like I said, I was watching this, wasn't even looking for none of this, and I just happened to notice it. And again, it's the eye contact. Like Kyle's happy, like happened right in front of him. Good stuff. Eyes right on Brandon, but as soon as Brandon snaps his head to look at Kyle, is what it seems like. Kyle starts to turn his head and starts to go down. I don't know. Like I said, I'm wearing tinfoil hat for a reason, and I might have, but I just thought it was weird. I thought it was a weird thing because it's a reaction. He's staring and he's looking. He, to me, in my opinion, went out of his way to make eye contact with Kyle. And when he made eye contact with Kyle, Kyle broke it. So I thought it was interesting. That was the only thing. Like I said, I might have hyped it up a little too much on Twitter. But I just thought it was an interesting thing. Again, the second they make eye contact, but his response to it was immediately. And again, it goes part into some of the things like we talk about, like emotional intelligence. Like Brandon Ayuk doesn't see the fist pump. You know what I mean? If he's in the doghouse, and again, you're trying to perceive each person's perception. Kyle's not happy with Brandon Ayuk. Ayuk's probably not happy with Kyle. And that seemed intentional from Ayuk. And it seemed like Kyle felt that intention. So it is what it is. Let's break down some tape. I thought that thing was interesting. It caught my eye. But let's break down the tape. So let's start with Daniel Brunskill. I really, really like this rep from Dan. I know Dan got a lot of heat, but look at that reroute on J.J. Watt. Look at that reroute. Tried to hit him with a little club over. Brunskill shot his hands, rerouted. I like this rep. I really do. It's a 5-on-5 rep. All the guys are accounting for their guy. Everyone's blocking it up. I don't see any issues here. Love this from the offensive line up front. And then just a dart. Absolute dime from Trey Lance. Whoo! Put it right on the money. Someone tried to tell me this wasn't a good catch. Like, this Brandon was getting mugged and was able to come away with the catch. Absolutely loved it. Absolutely loved it. So this was actually one of the plays that I really like the most. One of the things we'll keep coming back to is watch the mechanics of Trey Lance. This hitch. This is the hitch. If you guys remember, after OTAs, it made actual national reports that Trey Lance had changed his mechanics, and what they were trying to change was this hop. He does this hop. He has a rhythm, like a rhythm step. That little rhythm step, they don't like that. They want that to be flat. They want it to be flat, and they want the ball to be gone. So it's something that he showed up on tape multiple times of him doing it this way and also doing it flat. So I think one of the things with Trey Lance right now is they've tried to change his mechanics quite a bit. He worked on his mechanics from October until OTAs, and then when he went to OTAs, they retooled his mechanics again. And this is one of the things that they tried to get rid of. But it just seems like it's a big part of who he is. And I have no problems with it because I know they tried to take it out, but he throws in so much better rhythm with it. So I'm okay with it because if you're throwing the ball like that, I have no problems. I have no problems with that little hitch and the little bounce in his hitch. I think that's pretty. I think that's absolutely pretty. It's a beautiful, beautiful pass. Let's pull up another one. What do we want to let's go offensive line. I know offensive line has been a huge topic. Huge topic. So let me do where it all started. It all started right here with Mcglinchey, I believe. So this is where Mike had played pretty decently well up until this point. Really nothing that stood out that was bad. But unfortunately, this was the one. This was the one. All right. So again, what you have is you have the offensive line. They're crashing down on these guys. Boom, boom, boom. So Mike Mcglinchey does not want JJ Watt to get inside leverage or inside pressure. So what he's going to do is he's going to shoot down hard. He's really got to cut off this angle from JJ Watt. That's really what he's trying to accomplish here. And if we watch it, JJ's ready. Boom. Like, got him good. And I sympathize with this because when you are trying to crash down hard and you're really trying to cut off that inside angle, and unfortunately the defender knows it's coming, and you also have a guy of this caliber who knows how to counter those things, it makes it really difficult. And you got to tip your cap to JJ Watt to know it was coming, to again set up he set up the inside move. So right away, Mike's like, okay, I got this. He is going hard inside and then just counters. It's a beautiful move. Absolutely beautiful move from JJ Watt. Unfortunately, looks really, really bad for Mike Mcglinchey, and JJ Watt just blows everything up. All the blocking assignments go to hell because Lincoln Tomlinson is supposed to pull around and get Zaven Collins, and he gets trapped on JJ Watt. So really the play is kind of busted as a result. It really is busted as a result. So it wasn't pretty to start. This is where it started, but it was back to back. It was a back-to-back situation. where he had back-to-back bad losses against JJ Watt. And so this was kind of the feeling I had too when I was watching the game. And because when you see this and you're not focusing on the offensive line when you're watching the broadcast, I'm not. Um, I'm watching the football. I'm watching where the ball's going. So I don't have the context of the hows and the whys during the broadcast. But again, same concept. Look at where he's lined up. He's a little bit more head up here. Let's get this going in the right direction. He's a little bit more head up here, but look at Mike now. Mike just got whooped with the counter outside. He just got whooped with the swim to the basically countering his outside shoulder. It's the same concept for Mike. He still has to crash down hard. That's what he's trying to do. But again, you have to remember he just got beat really bad because JJ Watt anticipated that and hit him with a counter. So now what Mike is doing is he is not shooting out of a stance. He is anticipating an outside move. He's anticipating some kind of counter. He's not shooting down with that same intensity. And as a result, JJ Watt says, well, if you're not going to do that, I'm going straight in. So again, this is the game within the game. This is why it's hard to play offensive line and why you have to give a level of credit to the defenders when you're playing against them. Because when you get whooped like this, when you do crash hard down to the inside, because you know JJ Watt is a load, except he hits you with the counter, that affects your very next play. This is the very next play. And as a result, he's not ready. He didn't crash. Look, he's open. He's like more trying to decipher which way is this guy going. He's setting himself up to be able to counter for an outside. Unfortunately, JJ Watt's smarter than your average bear, and he sees that, and he's like, that's my free shot. And there you go. So those two plays back-to-back really have set the tone for Mike Mcglinchey. He actually got it back on track. Again, these were two plays early in the game, and they were back-to-back. So it really, really didn't look great. I want to show a play design that I came across that I really did like, though, that involved Mike Mcglinchey. I thought it was a bit interesting. I'm not sure I've personally ever seen this before. Let me make sure I'm in the right spot. Nope, almost there. So this is an interesting wrinkle that I think I'll let it play from here, and then I'll break it down on the other angle. I'm not sure I've ever seen this before. I'm not sure I've ever seen this before. So we'll take a look. So when we're watching Mike Mcglinchey, watch the protection. He gives help to Brunskill. He's got eyes outside as he should. But then everyone vacates his spot, and he's kind of looking for help. This is crazy. This to me is a design, because look at Mike. He's out in space, right? Like, oh, what's he kind of doing out there? You don't typically do that. And then boom, he's gone. He's now a lead blocker. And, obviously Trey Lance doesn't throw and he goes for the run. But I just found this to be actually pretty nice design. Again, you have the action of Debo coming around, so you have a lot of different threats. You're in the pistol. You have Dwelly offset to the right. You have Elijah Mitchell out here. You have Juice out here. I kind of like this. I really like this. At first, I was like, what's he doing just sitting out here? Because that's what I was looking at. I was like, why is he out here like this on an island? And then, but look at his head. You don't look back as an offensive lineman. You are coached to be able to pretend to see through the back of your head. You don't look backwards. But that's what he does here, because he's checking to see if Trey Lance is going to escape. And boom, there it goes. And then, so this play, we talk about the play design. We talked about it didn't look great. It wasn't the best. I'm like, I kind of like this. Like, I can dig this. There's a lot you can do with this. especially with Dwelly crashing down like that. Um, you can theoretically hand it off right here. You could hit juice check right here if you had a little quick slant or something. So I really liked it, but I really liked the action to be able to get Mcglinchey out there kind of as a lead blocker. So I thought that was pretty interesting. I like the play design. Let's see. What else we got? Pitch to Elijah. Is that next? Yeah, we got pitch to Elijah. Let's get a better look at this one. I thought Elijah was running pretty well, man. I think there were a couple instances where some of the reads and holes that he was trying to hit maybe didn't work out too well. But I thought for the most part, Elijah did pretty darn good job. I mean, he's a smooth runner. He's patient, like that ability to be able to just be patient with his blocks. Again, he is trying to pull the outside defender this way and cuts back against the grain really well. And this is actually going to translate into a different play where he got stuffed. It was actually, I think it was a pitch to the left near I think it was inside the red zone, and he made a weird cut. And I think I think Jordan Elliott actually sent it to me, and I was like, yeah, what is that? But I later saw that he was trying to make an insane cutback, and there just happened to be people there that he wasn't expecting. But I think with Elijah Mitchell, I really would have liked to see him get more than 9 carries. I thought he was pretty serviceable. I thought if you could have got more of this stuff going, again, being able to help your offensive line get going, do all those kinds of things, this is what these guys want to do. These guys want to get out front. They want to run block. They want to do all this. Look at this Trent Williams, man. Trent Williams is a freak. What is he doing? He's trying to block everyone on one play. Like, look at this. He's half on 94. He made sure he had to get on Simmons. Oh, I say Simmons getting away. And again, this is what he's doing. Do you see the shade? This is how you help your buddies on the offensive line. You have Lincoln Tomlinson. Guess what Lincoln Tomlin needs to do? He needs to reach number 94. This is a very hard block. This is a very, very hard block. So what does our guy Trent do? I got you, bro. I'm going to stand right here, make sure that he doesn't go anywhere near me so that you can get your head on the opposite side. You see what he's doing? This is what Lincoln's trying to do. He's trying to get his head on the opposite side. So once you get your head on the opposite side, then the hips follow. And then you create the wall. And then you just keep working your hips. And there's a beautiful reach block. And then you got Trent just being Trent. It's insane. The way this guy can move to be able to, again, he's trying to help 94. He's cutting off this lane for 94 to go that way while still blocking Simmons. And he's like, all right, you know what, Isaiah, come here. Get out of town, bro. It's just so easy for him. I really like it. Shout out Ayuk. I'll take that block from Ayuk. I'd like to see a little bit more effort to kind of maintain the block, but hell, get in his way. That's a big-ass linebacker. Zaven Collins weighs 260 pounds. No, he actually brought his weight up to 270. So this is a big man. And I lied. I like the effort. Way to try to keep going with the block for Ayuk. I like that. I can take this effort. I really can, because a good enough running back, if he has a little bit more room to work, he can use that block. He absolutely can. So I thought that was a decent play. Run skill recovery set up right after this. So let's take a look. I have run skill recovery. Yes. The play that started out really, really bad that ended up really, really good. This is one of those situations where you're watching it right off the jump, and right here you're like, oh no. Whoa, you're like, crap. You're like, crap, what is going on? This is not good. But again, one of the biggest things with offensive line evaluation is how you recover. You're going to get beat initially a lot, but you can recover. It's not over until the whistle is blown. That's why they say if you make a mistake going 100% and watch what Brunskill does. Again, this is JJ Watt. This is so hard to combat. You have to step down hard. You have to step down hard on a guy of this caliber, and he knows you're trying to do that to him. So he's countering. He want just like we see with Trent Williams, the way Trent is leverage blocking. It's the same concept of what the defense is doing. You're using the offensive lineman's leverage against them. But shout out Mike Mcglinchey to be able to get on J.J. Watt and take J.J. Watt for a ride. Look at where J.J. Watt ends up. Mike Mcglinchey just planted him on the ground. Really like that. I'll take it. And again, back to Brunskill. Didn't start out great. Wasn't pretty, but he recovered. Look at that, and then look at the hole. At the end of the day, the responsibility of Mike Mcglinchey and Daniel Brunskill are working double to backer. So it doesn't matter how they block these two, because if 58 goes over the top, Mike's going to get him. If 58 goes under, Brunskill's going to get him. It doesn't matter. It's just these two are responsible for these two. So the fact that, it didn't really work out initially, but 58 jumps up into the hole and then Brunskill walls him off. I like that. I know a lot of people don't like the fact that he got swam like that, but you have to give him credit for the recovery. You do. You have to give him credit for the recovery. He didn't stay on the ground. He instantly hit the deck and was up and on a block. Like, say what you want. That's hard in of itself. To be able to have the awareness to get your butt put on the ground. Look, he's staring at turf. He's staring at turf right now, and he's still got a block and a job to do. Gets back up. Beautiful. I could take that all day. Again, playing offensive line is not pretty. It is not pretty. It's a dirty, thankless job. But at the end of the day, you got to do what you got to do. This play to Debo, I really liked in the sense of pocket. I really like the pocket here. Let's see why I wrote that down. So you got 5 coming. They're bringing Baker on the outside. So you can see they got a 4-man front. Juice stays in to block. Let's see what Juice does. I like it. I can deal with it. I like this ability to pick up this stunt here. So watch the stunt that's going to occur right here with number 90 and Chandler Jones. And good job to these two for keeping eyes up and being aware. So Lakin's got eyes up. He's waiting. There's Chandler. Not today, boy. And then really like the throw by Trey Lance. If we watch Trey Lance, again, you see the bounce in the hitch. They don't like that. I like it. I'm not a quarterback coach. I definitely am not in no place to teach mechanics from the quarterback position, but I see this as a form of rhythm. I talk about like your free throw shots when you see dudes who come up with perfect form and they're just splashing them perfect form from the free throw. Then you see some dudes who come out here like this. Ooh, and they like swoosh it every time. Like at a certain point, like if it works for you, it works for you. And I think Trey Lance has a strong enough arm that he can overcome some of the deficiencies with this long motion that they might not like with his strong arm. So I don't know. It's something that I don't mind. I think it gives him a sense of rhythm because just like that, he pops right out of it, keeps his eyes downfield. I like the location of the throw as well. I really do. I like the fact that it turned Debo back inside because I really think if you kind of lay it out in front, you're causing Debo to drift towards the sideline. Then Debo doesn't really have a ton of room to work with off of that. He's maybe doing a little stutter and then going out of bounds, similar to what he does there. But I like the ability that it gives him to still make a move and do other things. So I like that. So let's see what else we got here as we continue to go down. What is this one? This is a really good pass. It's a really good pass. Obviously, Zaven was right on him. These are some of the drops that we continue to see. A lot of drops in this game. Continue to be a problem. I don't know why it's a problem, but it continues to be a problem. He puts that right on him. So I don't know. To me, it comes down to concentration for wide receivers. I know Debo has good hands. That's not the problem. I don't know if he's a little bit too worried about 25. I don't know if that ball came in too hot for him. I don't know. But I like everything about it. I like the protection. Again, watch the offensive line work in tandem. You got another switch coming here. But look at them control it. Brunskill ended up on the ground, but he still got his guy. I'll take it. Like I said, it's not pretty. He trips over Alex's feet right here. It looks uglier than it really is, but he trips over his feet, ends up on the ground. Let's look at, what do we got? Mike Mcglinchey, the switch. So let's look at this switch. I like this switch on the outside. So one of the things that I keep noticing is that Mike Mcglinchey and Daniel Brunskill are really good at switching blocks. Like, that's one thing that I haven't found an instance through 5 weeks where they've messed up on a switch. So a stunt. You throw a stunt at these guys, they're going to pick it up. And this is what I'm talking about. So you got J.J. Watt trying to set up the outside move, right? Like he's going straight at Mcglinchey. But look at where Mcglinchey's eyes are. Mcglinchey knows where his responsibility is. Look at Brunskill. He knows where his responsibility is. Look at Mac. He knows where his responsibility is. It doesn't matter that these guys are heads. They know that this is where they're really sliding to. So what I really, really like about this is you got Brunskill and you got Mcglinchey both engaged, but they know where they're going and they stay on their track. Their feet keep working. Again, Brunskill gets a little hung up here, but he's still able to recover and get his hands on Watt. He just trips over Mac here. But still, really like this. I know Mcglinchey had some bad reps. But he also had some good reps. And so we just got to stack them together. You know what I'm saying? Like the bad reps, I think that's the hardest part about like watching offensive line. The bad reps don't tell the whole story. The bad reps are typically outliers, and you have to see why they lost. And to me, this is a really good rep by these guys. Again, people want to talk about the right side being a hindrance, and I understand there's miscues. But like this, that's Chandler Jones, man. That's J.J. Watt. And they got to work to these guys. They got to make – this is a switch off. All three of these guys got to switch. They picked it up. I love it. I freaking love it. What else? Did I miss anything else on this one? Let's look at Lincoln. What does Lincoln do? Oh, yeah, they do the switch. They try to do a stunt on the backside. Trent Williams is on 94. You're going to have to keep on your guys so Lincoln can try and take over. Look at Trent, dude. Trent's just a freaking beast, man. Trent's just a beast. I love it. All right, let's see what else we got. Was that my – yep, that was a beautiful pass block rep by And the Debo drop. All right, let's keep it rolling. So, like we said, we talked about Mcglinchey. If you guys been rolling with us from the start, Mcglinchey had 2 back-to-back really bad reps, and that sets the tone for the perception of people who aren't watching film like this. And I'm included. I was watching the broadcast, and I was like, "Oh no." I was like, it's but again, you go back and you watch it, you string it together, it brings you calm. It brings you some clarity. What is this? We got a quarterback run here. I might as well watch quarterback run. Look at Mac, man. Look at Mac. Mac's been getting a lot of heat too. I really didn't see a ton of miscues from Mac this game. Watch Mac here. That I guess that's why I didn't write it down, is because Watt took himself out of the play. He tripped on Lakin, but quarterback run nonetheless. So one of the things that Trey Lance has been doing, though, is he does tend to give his body up when he gets tackled. So you can kind of sense he's already starting to, right about here, kind of just not keep churning the legs, but rather go down, if that makes sense. There's definitely other instances that are better than that. 12. Let's go to. Oh, we want the Mcglinchey pancake. What is that? Why don't I remember that? All right, 12:22. So I got Mcglinchey pancake, which means he's going to be coming down. Let's watch. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. We like that, Mike. We like that, Mike. So this is what I'm talking about. Mike settled in. He had a really rough go. Those first 2, those back-to-back 2 were really bad. It was really bad. But he was able to get that cleaned up. Pancake. Love it. Trey Lance tries to escape. So what was I looking at with this one with Trey Lance's running angle? I felt like Trey Lance could have taken a little bit better angle to manipulate. So I talk about a lot setting up blocks as a runner. So setting up blocks, how do we do this? So right here, we see this defender has outside leverage, right? So we understand if we keep pushing it to the outside, that defender's in position to make the tackle. So we don't want that to happen. So what I really like out of running backs like JaMycal Hasty, maybe what we haven't seen as much out of Trey Sermon, is the ability to set up blocks. So if Trey Lance right here, see how he angles out and it just sets up the guy right there, like, oh, you're running straight to me. You're running straight to the weak part of the block. If Trey Lance was to take a step inward towards the middle of the field, this defender will completely change his leverage. See how his hat is on the outside shoulder? His hat would go instantly to the inside shoulder to try to cut off Trey Lance. And then that's when you do the outcut. You help your blocker. You get the defender out of position for your blocker. So if Trey Lance were to do that, just that little cut, just that little phase inside, the little threat of running inside, get this defender to roll over the top. And then we know Trey Lance is athletic enough to make the move. You have the space. You make the move, get the defender to bite out here, help Dwelly, and then you put Dwelly in a position to be in between you and the defender, and then you bounce it out. And then you got, you know what I'm saying? So I don't mind the play for what it is. I just thought, maybe a little bit better running lane. That's all. That's all. Nothing crazy. Okay. I like this one. This is the reverse. This is like a reverse counter. It's like so again, I talk about the design, like feeling it watching the broadcast, not loving it, but I kind of like this wrinkle because counter right up front, that's what it looks like. Counter right up front. Typically, though, the running back would be on the opposite side to be able to run the mesh and be able to run off this block. So, like, imagine if Elijah Mitchell is on the other side. You have your lead block in Lincoln, bang, look at Trent, walling off. Then the running back would run through here. Maybe they don't defend it that way because they're anticipating run here, but it's an interesting play because it's an against the grain play. It's a little bit abnormal, but they made it work. And Elijah Mitchell bounced it out. This was a play I was talking about a little bit earlier, where you see all this green space, right? And then you see the defender flowing over the top, and you're like, why did you cut? See all these black jerseys? I think it was Jordan sent me this, and he was like, I really wish Elijah Mitchell would have went to the outside. And that at first glance, I said the same thing. I was like, why is he doing that? Why is he doing that? Well, here's a better idea of that. Run it back a million different times. So right here, Elijah breaks the first tackle. His eyes are already upfield. He's indicating where his next upfield block is. His next upfield block is Mohamed Sanu. Look at Sanu. If I'm Elijah Mitchell, look at that leverage. Like, I'm like, oh yeah, we're working, baby. We're working, baby. Let's go. Oh. Uh-oh. What happened? What happened? And so this is why I think Elijah made the cut that he made. And he damn near, now it makes me feel bad because now I feel like Elijah Mitchell damn near missed out on a ESPN Sports Center top 10 highlight potential juke. Because again, let's break it down. When Elijah Mitchell is hitting this point right here where he knows he's got the edge, he's won. He is one. You're not catching Elijah. Elijah Mitchell knows how fast he is. He knows he won. There's his block. Look where his eyes are. You can tell based on the stripe and the angle, he's looking right here, right? So look at the way he sets it up. He's watching his block. All right. Head turns. Look, leverage is still there. Right now, Elijah Mitchell thinks he's got whatever he wants. He can do whatever he wants to do in this open space. So his eyes go off the block straight to here. And so what I really think he was trying to do was set up a nasty cutback, like a nasty cutback on Budda Baker. That would have been like, we would have been like, oh, like I think it would have been great. But unfortunately, what happens is, if you look right here, Elijah Mitchell at this point thinks Sanu's got this blocked. But credit this defender to shed the block. But at that point, Elijah is already setting up the cutback. And this is what I like about Elijah. He knows how to cut against the grain. So look at how fast Budda is coming. Like he's selling out. He knows how fast he is. And look at him. He knows. See him start to square off and get ready for the cut. I think what he is trying to do, imagine if this is blocked properly, he's trying to cut, boom, right up there. Right up there. And I think if Sanu can hold that block like Elijah anticipated he would, because, again, this is where the block is lost, and that's where he starts to cut. So if you can imagine this is blocked up like that, you have this defender selling out over the top, and you have his speed and the way he's breaking down, and you see it completely screws him up. He goes to do the cutback, but who's this guy? And he goes, oh, crap. And then he gets demolished. I watched this live. I was like, what was he doing? And I really think that's what he was trying to do. I think he thought this block was going going to hold. Baker's momentum of sprinting to the outside. Again, look at his hips. They're completely sold. So he's smart. He's going to use that against him. But unfortunately, 39 makes a better play and just kind of screws up. Just kind of screws up Elijah Mitchell. I really thought he was going for that cutback, and I think he would have got it. I really think he would have got that cutback if Sanu holds that block there. And I think that really kind of messed him up right there. And that helped explain it to me. I saw it one way the first time. Second time, thought it was pretty legit. I saw what he was trying to do. At first, I didn't understand it. Again, because I think you're like, well, just run to the pylon. Just run straight. What are we doing? Like, look at all this room. You got Travis blocking out there. Just run to the pylon. Speed for speed. But I saw what he was doing. He was setting up the cutback because, again, when you're cutting like this, and look at this dude's hips. Oh, shh. And if this was like a savage cutback, but unfortunately, he catches 39 in his view. He said, nah, I'm pulling the trigger. I'm not doing that. I thought it was a good run. But I was confused by the decision-making process of why he was doing what he was doing. I understand it now. He was trying to set up the cutback against the grain, which I thought would have been beautiful. We got Trey Lance, another concentration drop here. I think this was the second one on this drive alone for Deebo Samuel. Let's see if it's blocked up well. Yeah, man. I mean, that's pretty solid block. At least with these two. These two did their job. You got Brunskill getting the second level. He does his job. Again, Brunskill's not going to get any credit for getting out there, but that's a nice work for Brunskill. Obviously, the angle is affected by where the ball's going. So Brunskill actually going in the right spot. It's just if Deebo catches this ball and runs forward, he draws the defender into Brunskill. Just got to see that. Got to make that catch. We got to make that catch. Those types of things we got to eliminate. We really do. We really have to eliminate that aspect. I don't like it. I don't like the drops. Just like people don't like the missed blocks. I don't like the drops. I think drops are controllable. I mean, it's easier said than done. What about this play did I not like? So this is kind of where Dwelly had a rough game in regards of blocking. I know a lot of people felt it necessary to take shots at George Kittle this week. I don't know why. I don't know why this fan base doesn't appreciate George Kittle. At this point in time, I'm almost ready to say this fan base doesn't appreciate George Kittle. And this is why you miss George Kittle right here. This is exactly why you miss George Kittle. George Kittle is blowing this out with Trent, getting on number 58 and driving 58 in the dirt, completely taking 58 out of this scenario. George Kittle is literally transporting 58 to a different area code in this situation. But 82 just gets rocked. Look at the hands. He's grabbing like he's not shooting, just trying to leverage block. Unfortunately, it is what ends up being what Trey Lance runs right into. If like I said, if George Kittle's here, 58 ain't doing that to George Kittle. Who we talking about, man? What are we talking about, man? Like we know Kittle is. Come on. So this is a touchdown with George Kittle. I feel confident in saying that. I really do. I really do. Shout out Brunskill. Again, he doesn't get credit for none of that. Great block. Great block. Beautiful. Not a pancake. Not a pancake, but beautiful block. Beautiful pull. Does his job. Gets his helmet on the right side and turns his hips. That's textbook. Spatial awareness. Okay, look at the spatial awareness by Trey. It's very tiny, very small thing, but this ability to just feel Brunskill and this leg, watch this leg get kicked out. And when it gets kicked out, like here goes Trey getting ready to hit the hole. This leg gets kicked out last second. He senses it and runs around it. Look at the leg movement. Like that is straight up elite reaction and spatial awareness. I know it looks really small and it really looks really insignificant, but the ability to make this stutter right here, to be able to then plant off that foot, to then whip it around Brunskills, to replant. I like that. I think that's really like it's very, like I said, it's very tiny, very, 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 very tiny. But I think it speaks to the larger spatial awareness that this kid has. This kid feels and sees it all, like really does. Like that little thing. It's so small. Look in real time how quickly he adjusts to that. Quickly, boom. That little stutter to be able to plant, move his foot around. That is crazy. In a phone booth like that, I think that's wild. Again, George Kittle's in here. That's a touchdown. This is why you miss George Kittle. This is why George Kittle's one of the best tight ends ever. So here we get back to some of the I formations. I, at first, was so confused by this play. And I'll let you watch it and then we'll break it down. But at first, I did not understand. Like, look at Trey. Who's Trey throwing to? At first, hey, drop it in the chat if you guys are watching, paying attention. Who's Trey supposed? Who's the primary here? Let me pause it. Who's the primary? Who's Trey Lance targeting? Any ideas? Do you see anyone? Do you see anybody open looking for the ball? Do you see anything? Do you? I don't see anyone saying anything. I see a lot of crickets. So let's play it out. At first, good call. Peyton knows. Good job, Peyton. He said trying to throw to the Cardinals. Yeah, you guys are right. You guys are smarter than the average bear. Good job. So that is it. Juice, I believe, is the primary here. Shout out Marcus Golden. Watch. Number 44. This guy messes up our entire plan here. Watch number 44. 44 versus 44 crime. Nope. He tossed Juice. He said he went out of his way to engage with Juice. So again, I talk about a lot defenses keying on what we're trying to do. And why it's not working. Why isn't our offense working? Well, when the defense knows what you're trying to do, that means they know how to take it away. Perfect example. Marcus Golden isn't going out of his way to tackle Juice. He knows Juice is a potential leak here. So he grabs Juice, literally jumps off his leverage, grabs Juice, throws him to the ground. That ended up being the primary wide receiver on the play. So how do you be successful when teams are either they know or they're just that much better prepared to be able to assume that could be coming, that he's just going to throw him straight to the ground. Boom. And then he's got nothing. And do you want to now let me explain Mike here and how this affects Mike in real time? This looks like a blown block by Mike. Watch it. It looks like a blown block by Mike. But again, this is a timing play. This is timing. This is timing. The ball needs to be out here. So, Mike, you can see what these guys are doing. This is a pass play. So, this is run action. This isn't a run. This is run action. They can't get depth. It's kind of like a screen. You can see Mike isn't really trying that hard to block because he only needs to block for about a second and a half. Offensive linemen have internal clocks in their head that is very specific to the play. A run action like this, your internal clock is like around 1.5 seconds, not a typical 2.5 seconds or 3 that you're aiming for in pass protection. So he's just chipped. He's just trying to get his hands on him. He just doesn't want a free release. They want to invite him upfield. It's kind of like a screen in a sense. It's like a play, but it's a play action. So yeah, would you want to cut that off a little bit better? But also at the same time, juice typically, based on the design of the play, should be open. So right here, like typically what we've seen is these defenders are thinking juice is coming to block them. So they're actually undercutting the block. They're trying to like, oh, you're not blocking me. I'm going to swim over the top. I'm going to counter inside. And so juice gets free release. That doesn't happen here. It didn't happen like it was designed. And unfortunately, when you have a very like one read style play and it's based time and short timing, it affects everything else down the line. So it looks worse for Mike than I think it really is. I really think it does because again, you have Brunskill vacating his space to pull, and so it's just a busted play. Just a busted play makes everyone look bad. Just a busted play makes everyone look bad. And then I believe we have the next play. So we talk about play design. We talked about countering. Look at that. So we might not like that juice 4th down conversion. I like this play. I like this play. I get the concept. I understand what they're doing. I like the threat that they're showing. They're showing the threat. Watch the movement. Oh, watch the entire reaction of the defense. Oh, we're pinching. Look at that. Look at that. If you can demand that from just this motion, just this, if you can force a defense to react to you like this is good. This is good for the future of how you design plays and how you do certain things, because this is how a quarterback with the ability to run affects a defense. So they're instantly selling out to stop either straight up run Trey up the middle or Elijah. But you get a boot. Now, I would have really liked to see Dwelly get more here. I really would have liked. I mean, it's a good play by Chandler Jones. Again, Chandler Jones is a really solid dude. But I would love to see Dwelly get more of a piece here, because if you do that, then that opens up the potential of the running lane. I think the problem with this is that because you don't get any affected movement of Chandler Jones, you don't wall off his angle. He actually spins right into the angle and is in perfect place. I feel like if you just make the adjustment to be like, we got to sell out on Chandler Jones a little bit. Like, we got to make sure Chandler Jones is not beating us over the top. Chandler Jones can beat us under. He can go under as long as he wants. But Chandler Jones should not be beating us over the top here. And so that, I think, is the first mistake on this play, is that we just give Chandler Jones that free release, because now look at him. It affects the entire running options, even the throwing options that Trey Lance has. Like, he peeks back He peeks back this way, like to see what's going on, but it is sloppy. It's gross. It's not pretty. It's not pretty. And then you got this guy out here. That's Chandler Jones, guys. This is Chandler Jones. This is a rookie quarterback. That's a rookie. That's Chandler Jones. And so at a certain point, Trey's got to bail. Nothing is working. This is supposed to be like what? Like a natural rub route. Doesn't really work out. Dwelly, again, Dwelly, I don't know the function of this play. I don't know how it was installed. I don't know how they did it. I don't know. But I would say, Dwelly, you got to get your head on the outside. Get your head across his back. Let him free flow on the inside. Not do that. Because then I think you affect a lot of different things. So I don't know. I think Elijah maybe could have done a little bit better job blocking here. Little bit better job of trying to obstruct Isaiah Simmons. This is one of my one critique here of Trey Lance. And it's not detrimental. I understand what he was trying to accomplish, what he was trying to do. He's trying to go heads, man. I get it. But Isaiah Simmons is a freak. I don't know who 51 is really, but look at 51. 51's momentum, I think, is the one that did it. And they hit at the same exact time. So it just stops any momentum. You can see it right there. I think Trey Lance versus Isaiah Simmons wins that. It's 51 coming in at full speed and making contact at the exact same time. That stymies him and sends him to the side. My critique here is rather than just going heads, you can even cut it, like pretend like you're going to cut to the inside, but angle towards the pylon. Angle towards the pylon, I think you have a better shot. Again, it's just crazy timing of 51 coming in to stop that play the way he did. That's just one of those plays, man. That's just one of those plays where it's like, gah, it's tough. It's tough. You know, Trey Lance is a specimen. Is an absolute specimen. Like I said, if he's going heads with Simmons, I think he wins that. And he's even cutting back to the inside because I don't think Trey Lance recognizes 51. He's not recognizing that this dude is coming hard at him. So he kind of cuts against the grain. Like I said, in this instance, I get it. Maybe just flow towards the pylon. Yeah, I agree. Look at how Trey pops up like a savage. Like a savage, man. This dude's a rookie. You see all the stuff they're asking him to do. Pretty impressive. And he just, like, again, this was in the first portion of the game. Luke says, go over the top. The defenders went low. Oops. Where did that go? Go over the top. Let's take a look at the natural progression. So watch Isaiah react to Trey. So Isaiah's up. Watch Trey's shoulder. So again, I know there's a thought that he could go over the top. Just a reminder, Isaiah Simmons, I think, is 6'4". I think Isaiah. Oh, look at Don Burr. Look at Don Burr. I think Isaiah Simmons is 6'4". But watch the reaction. It's not like, I would say you go over the top if Isaiah Simmons is going low already. But right here, Isaiah Simmons isn't going low. Oops. And Isaiah Simmons actually is reacting to Trey. So Trey goes down, which I understand. Low man wins in football, right? So I understand the concept of, like, potentially going over the top here. But rather than going over the top or going heads up, like I said, it's just, I really feel like that he could have kept that angle. Maybe get a better wall off here by Elijah, but you just run it to that angle Again, you're looking at Isaiah Simmons, he's all out of whack. I think you could have pushed through that. But I thought the pylon was the move. But again, I don't think he was anticipating for 51. But that's part of it. You're gonna have guys cutting back against the grain, which is typically why they teach you, especially if you're a quarterback and you're scrambling, don't cut against the grain, because when you cut against the grain, you're gonna have some big ass mother effer coming to tear you out or take you down with the full head of speed like this. So that's why I'm just head for the corner. Could he have gone over the top? Maybe. But like I said, he's making the move to dip first. Isaiah's reacting to it. So I don't know. If he goes over the top, he's basically jumping at a dude who's standing straight up. So if Isaiah was hitting the turf first and was really going to cut out the legs, then yeah, I would agree. Just go over the top of him. But you see Trey's trying to get lower leverage than him to be able to explode through him, which I think he would have. But it's a 51. It's this guy's momentum. This guy made the play, 51, not Isaiah. Isaiah did a good job of being in position, but 51's momentum stopped that touchdown. So I get it. There's a lot of things that could have happened. Let's do a couple more Trey Lance plays. We're getting up there in time, so I don't want to drag on too long. What was this one? What was this? I don't know what that was. What is this? Why did this happen? Why did this happen? Oh, I remember this, I think. So I don't know what Warner's responsibility is here. Again, probably missing George Kittle a little bit in this game. So I think Warner might have made a mistake here. I think Warner thought that this was the read. This is the read defender for the quarterback, when in reality, it was this guy. And so you kind of see Warner. This angle that he's taking is he's trying to get under this block. He's not trying to block him at all. He's trying to get under the block and off to the second level. But when you do that, look at both of these guys. So I don't know the actual function of this play design, but I would imagine that this is supposed to be at least a head up block in some sense. Or I don't know. Or a better, just a block in general. So because again, like let's say he walls this off and you read that Marcus is squatting on it and this is walled off. You hand off to Mitchell. Look at where Mitchell's going. Whoop. So this, I feel like this play fell apart right here. If Warner gets this block, which I think he's confused, this, I would imagine, I would be, if I was Trey, I would have handed off to Mitchell. You get this block walled off. Look at the hole that develops that he could have had, and Mitchell would have squirted right through that thing. Right through that thing. Let's see. What other stuff do we want to get into? Let's do the back shoulder to Brandon Ayuk. Here we go. What a dart. What a dart. Not even his first read either. You can see based on where his head is at, he's looking to left to his right. But I mean, this is a hard throw. This is a hard throw. It really is. Whew! What a catch. What a catch as well. My dog is going crazy right now. I don't know why my dog got stuck outside. Poor puppy. Yeah, I like that. So he's looking what here? I don't know the actual progression. I would imagine it's probably inside to out. This is an extremely long developing route. They're sitting on which appears to be the primary. This appears to be the primary. It's where his eyes are. I'd imagine he's going 1, 2, 3, and then whichever progression 4 and 5 are. Here is his leak outs. But that's why this is kind of impressive. He's not looking in this zone. This defender does a good job of anticipating the route. You see him break down and try to wall it off. And I mean, this looks pretty damn intentional. This back shoulder looks pretty damn intentional. It's just really good. And the way and speed that it takes to get how long it takes to get that ball in there that's beautiful. That's beautiful. I really, really like it. It was a really nice throw. And shout out to Brandon Doghouse Ayuk for making a play after the catch. And a really good one-handed catch at that in traffic. And again, this is what we look at and we're like, oh, so this is the guy that's not making strides? this is the guy that's not making strides? He looks like one of the best players on our team. But again, we understand. There's other things going on. There's other things going on there. So it is what it is. We move on. Good protection up front. Where are we at? 27-38. Let's do a couple more. 28-30. 28-30. Let's do this. Trey Lance run. So we got cornerback power. You guys tell me, do you guys like the quarterback power? Do we like the quarterback power? Do we like or counters? Do we like Trey doing this? I mean, I don't know if I do. I don't know. I don't know if I love it. I got one nope. I got a yes. I got a no. Running out of I formation. If you want a short career, no. Universal Cam Newton playbook. Yeah, I don't know. Like maybe a couple, like 2 a game. Sherfield, I didn't notice this. Sherfield started out in the backfield. Kyle loved this formation though. He loved this empty set with the 2 tight ends on one side. He loved this. He loves this formation. This showed up all the time. All right, I'm going to play this and I'm going to go free my dog real quick because my dog's freaking out. So enjoy the play. Oh, nope. This is the power. I'll be right back. All right, we're back. Free She's free now. She's free. Poor girl. I don't know. My kids locked her outside. So again, Brunskill's really good at pulling. No one gives him credit for pulling. He's really good at pulling. No one gives him credit for pulling. No one gives Brunskill any credit for anything good that he does. That's part of my thing with like the O-line critiques. It's like I would be fine with people critiquing the offensive line if they actually pointed out when they actually had good plays too. Like good job by Brunskill. He's really good at this. That's all I need. That's all I want. That's a win. That's a W. No one's in Brunskill's corner right now. And they just look, and that's the hardest part. Again, because you're watching broadcasts, the only things that stick out on broadcast really are sometimes pancakes, but always the miscues. Those are the things that stick out on broadcasts. This one I like for multiple reasons. I like Zaven Collins. Zaven Collins is a stud, man. I really like Zaven. Look at the way he fills the hole. He reads it, and he knows what's coming a mile away. Look at Lakin. Lakin's got his eyes on Zaven. They're going to meet each other right in the hole. This is a rookie, man. He said, boink. I like that. I like that by Zaven. Make that hole real muddy. That statement could be taken out of context really easily. But I'm gonna say it again. Make that hole real muddy. Make it muddy. And Zaven does a really good job, but it's a better effort by Elijah Mitchell. And again, it comes back to why did Elijah Mitchell only get 9 carries? Why was Trey Lance not under center more? Why weren't we running these types of concepts more? Because this is what we do. If I talked about quite a bit this week that what is the 49ers offensive identity? Who are they? What are they? What are they trying to do? What is their identity this year? And I don't know. I don't know. This is what I wanted to see more of. I wanted to see more stuff like this. Again, but you got to credit Elijah Mitchell here because Zaven Collins is where he is exactly where he needs to be. He read the play. Again, the defense is doing their job. They're selling out to stop. Great job by Zaven to make this really muddy. Some running backs don't have the awareness to be able to react that quickly. But look at these feet by Elijah, man. Whoop. Pops right through that messy asshole and is back on his way. Again, we talked about, do you think the 49ers missed George Kittle? Watch the block on Dwelly. Again, Kittle's over here on this play. And then Benjamin's here. And then you have a much easier situation and a one-on-one situation here. So this has happened a lot. Little things compounding into why plays aren't breaking or busting open. So I wanted to see Elijah Mitchell more, though, for this reason. He's capable. He is capable. You're right. Kittle didn't play. Good observation. And then the way Elijah's be able to pop through that hole, I really would like to see more from Elijah. I really, really would. He's nice. So up until this point, Mcglinchey. So again, we pointed out the early miscues with Mcglinchey. They set kind of a bad taste in everyone's mouth, but he really cleaned it up for the most part. And then he ran into a little bit of an issue towards the end. Again. And then it was a similar situation. He had back-to-back plays that just unfortunately didn't look great for him. And here's one of them. And I'll explain why Mike got beat here. So it's very similar to that second rep. If you were watching from the very beginning, it's very similar to that second rep when Mike isn't confident in what the defender's going to do, whether it's a counter inside or a counter outside. When he anticipates a counter, he gets very tentative. So when I watch his footwork, he stops his feet right there. He's dead in the water. So one of the things that you can't do, and if you've watched this channel and we've broken down Mike Mcglinchey plenty of times, one of the things you can't do, and what he can't do specifically, is he can't stop his feet. Because why he's stopping his feet is because he's out on an island and he does not want to get beat inside. He doesn't want to get beat with inside counter moves. He doesn't want to get beat with inside speed. So he stops his feet a little bit. See that little stutter right there? You're not supposed to do that. You're supposed to keep, like, you can slow down your pass set, but you keep moving. And he stops his feet, and that's where he loses. Stops the feet, and he senses it. He attacks the upfield shoulder, hits him with the club rip, and that's it. That's why he lost. You can correct this. This is correctable. We've seen it over and over again with Mike Mcglinchey. These are the small things in technique that a simple correction, and it looks a lot better. So this isn't necessarily an ability thing. This is just a small correction in technique. Again, with Mike Mcglinchey, we can't stop our feet. We understand that. Right here, he gets to a spot and stops his feet because he's anticipating an inside move. When he's anticipating an inside move, it's typically when he gets beat over the top. That's it. Like, it's not an ability thing. It's just, I get it. That's Chandler Jones, one of the best rushers in the world. And he doesn't want to get beat to the interior. I get it. That's why playing tackle is really hard. What I would have liked to see here, my boy Elijah, whether it was designed or not, just give a little chip. Why not? Just chip. Just give a little shoulder, a little pa. Kick this guy back inside for Mcglinchey. You're there. Like, dude, just chip him. Just give him a little shoulder. Just give him a little bah. Just to help Mike. Why not? I mean, you're there. You know what I mean? So he gets called for the hold because I get it. He's about to get whooped for a sack. Doesn't want to get his young guy sacked. I mean, look at this ability, though, man, to just feel that pressure. Trey Lance has elite pocket awareness, man. Elite. Really nice. So, again, he got beat. Too bad chop blocking is illegal in the NFL. It would have been a perfect opportunity for a chop block, man. Would have been a perfect opportunity. So then that was one of the bad plays from Mcglinchey that happened later down the road. Oh, this one looked really bad. This one looked really bad at first. 30. Which one is it? 3008. So this one looked really bad at first, and I'll let you watch it. Watch Mike. There, I think he's trying to reach JJ here. Yeah, he's trying to either reach or wall off, whichever angle works best for him. But watch him. Goes down. JJ Watt makes the play, and everyone's like, "Oh, get Mike out of here! Oh, Mike is garbage. Mike's trash. He's no good. Oh, he's garbage. What are we doing here?" Watch this right here. Oh, so Brunskill steps on his foot. Watch his foot as a result. Isn't able to plant like you wanted to. And down goes Mike. So this is shout out Brunskill. Good job, Brunskill. This was more on Brunskill than it was JJ Watt. It looks like JJ Watt absolutely demolishes Mike here. This is why it sucks being an offensive lineman. You get your ass stepped on. It affects the way you move your feet, and you aren't able to plant like you wanted and anticipated to plant, and it throws off your entire balance. And he hits the dirt. And it just looks like JJ Watt just got him, but he got stepped on. And it messed up his foot. You can see it right here. You can see right when he tries to replant and the way it hits there. That's why he fell, because he did not get the leverage he was trying to get out of that step. So again, it's just tough. It's just tough. He's going to get all the flack in the world for it. It's going to look like a really bad play that's blown up by him. It just sucks. Just sucks, man. You got your foot stepped on, and everyone's coming down your road because of it. It's unfortunate. And then I think that also compounded with the penalty as well. Let's see where that penalty was. I think it was this one. Oh, I think so. This is one of the plays that I really liked, I believe, from my memory, but got called back due to penalty. Trying to see why and where the penalty. Oh, this was on Trent. So Trent and Chandler. Trent got whooped, right? So when Chandler Jones beats Trent, no one sweats it, right? We're just like, oh, that's Chandler Jones and that's Trent Williams. Not a big deal. But we only come down Mcglinchey's road when he gets beat. We don't come down anyone else's. But there you see Trent Williams just unfortunately got beat with hands, which he's been really good about. You see him miss the punch. See that miss? And then you get the club. See that? That's that D-line move. That's what Trent's been really good about, of trying to bait. But unfortunately, he lost this time. And this is why. Throws the hands out, gets clubbed. You get the swipe. And he tries to rip through it. And Chandler Jones is a savage. And then he's able to get the corner as a result. I like this throw by Trey Lance, by the way. I really like this throw by Trey Lance. One of the things that I noticed on tape at NDSU is when he was moving outside the pocket, he was actually less accurate. It looked like his arm was less powerful when that occurred. And this looks like this is improved from what I saw in college. The ability to kind of plant here off this foot and use it like a springboard to throw. And he kind of does that little hop. You see the little hop there? This was something he was struggling with at North Dakota State. His feet would get all twisted up and the ball would die on him. This one, you can actually see it almost like, looks like it's kind of going up. It's kind of sailing on him. So that's a nice change. It's a nice change. Coach says, Brad, how do you stay calm? Watching film? I don't know. The film calms me, man. I think I get more anxiety watching a broadcast. I get so much more anxiety watching the broadcast. Why did he take so long to pass? I don't know. Let's see what the progressions look like. We'll try our best to guess what the progressions are, and we'll see where he goes. So his head is going to the right side. He's choosing the right first. My assumption is Dwelly is 1. My assumption is Dwelly is 1. But look at eyes here. I don't know if he's really not feeling comfortable with this because technically 34 could undercut that and pick that based on this positioning. So you kind of would want to throw it into this hole, but is Dwelly's not head isn't around until there. So, and you can see this situation where this is what. So I know people don't like this out of Brunskill, but I'm actually okay with this. I think if you are aware that this is your right guard and you understand that he does this all the time. Oh, this isn't it. How did I go too far? Here we go. Watch Brunskill. So this is, I think people have problem with this. I don't have as much of a problem with this because I understand who Brunskill is. And when you have a head up defensive lineman and you're running long developing routes, Brunskill isn't like, I mean, he's at the same depth of like Lakin here. It just looks more egregious when he's one on one and you're seeing this walk back that happens. But again, what no one gives Brunskill credit for is that he does this a lot. That anchor is enough. Again, he's not getting tossed to the left or the right. He's staying between the defender and his quarterback. And so I don't know. Again, I don't know the progression here, but I think this might have spooked him a bit. It either was Juice, then Dwelly, or Dwelly, then Juice in the progression to then Debo. But if you look at Debo's open right away. Watch Debo. He's got, or wait, how do I keep messing this up? There we go. Nope, little too far. Not far enough. So Debo's open right away. Based on this alignment, this soft coverage, off coverage that they're playing, Debo, like, I don't know the progression. It clearly doesn't look like Debo's the first progression, but if he was, I'm throwing that ball about right here, which is in time with the hitch, because with this separation and that cushion, knowing Debo's running an outbreaking route, you have the defender with his hips towards the inside of the field, meaning he's ready to break inside. He's not ready to break out. I would be throwing it to Debo right here in the flat, or not the flat, but on the out, which is who he ends up landing on. But if you could hit that with timing, that would be nice. Just boom, right there. That would have been pretty. That would have been pretty. So it's been, like I said this on Twitter. I feel like during the broadcast it felt a lot worse. I feel like it felt a lot worse in regards to scheme, in regards to blocking, in regards to a lot of things that didn't feel great in the beginning. Um, so, but I felt better after. Um, Again, still not a big fan of the big spread out scheme. Like this stuff works, I think, in certain situations where you have designed QB draws and stuff like that. Like it worked. But I really would like to see more under center, honestly. It still was one of my takeaways. Oh, this play I know Mike would have liked. I know Mike would have wanted this one back. Mike would have wanted this one back. So one of the things as an offensive lineman, you got to stay on your track sometimes, especially when you're out in space and you have to block smaller defenders. If you watch Mike, he veers off his track. He's at a really good angle. He's at a really good angle there. Right here, he's at a really good angle. And if he keeps this angle and doesn't change regardless of the DB has to make a decision. The DB either goes over the top, goes through him, or goes around him. And so if Mike just stays on his track, this defensive back is going to realize it's a screen and he's going to try to cut it back to the inside. But if Mike stays on his track, Mike is pancaking 34 into the ground rather than trying to chase 34, which tries to go flat and then come back, and he misses, and 34 makes the tackle. And you know how I know Mike's upset? Get the head. He's like, damn it. Damn it. And if I'm the offensive line coach, I'm like, this is what we're talking about on tape. I'm like, Mike, you know what track you're supposed to be on. If we're gonna run a quick screen to Deebo Samuel and they're gonna veer that far under, let him run under because Deebo's gonna be already upfield by that point. So just stay on your track, keep moving upfield, make the adjustments as needed, and that would work out actually a little bit better for him. So it looked a lot worse on the broadcast. It looked a lot worse. Um, it looked a whole lot worse on the broadcast. Like I said, I can explain all these miscues with Mike. It's not like he doesn't have ability or he's not capable of being a good football player. It's just like simple things like this. Like I said, stay on your track. Stay on your track. Don't flatten it off. Just stay on your track. Again, you know the timing of this play. This is a timing play. Stay on your track. Again, see his target. See his target. If he just stayed on that track right here, and you let 30 go under, please. I'll give you a free ticket to go on the under. Go for it. That's why look at both of these two guys. They're doing the same thing. These guys are on a track. They're running on a track. They're not running to a person. This isn't a power scheme. Run on your track, and if they go under, that's fine. If they go over, get them. But he tries to overcompensate, comes off his track, actually puts himself out of position. So it is what it is. I really think that I know there's a lot of people who are upset about the offensive line play. But again, after doing my full study, I think this group is serviceable. I think you can win with these guys. What you need to do is you need to limit the glaring mistakes. We need to limit the huge miscues. We need to limit the penalties, of course. Things like Mike tripping or taking maybe not the best angle and falling off his track. Like we can live with that. That's part of playing football. That's all coachable. That's all correctable. That, like I said, All I'm telling Mike is, bro, just stay on your track. Just stay on your track. You would have made the play. But I think this is where he gets a little bit like, I don't want to get beat this way. I don't want to get beat that way. So he's trying to overcompensate, and as a result, gets a little bit mixed up. Sometimes it's as simple as staying on your track. Watch Brunskill just stay on his track, puts himself in position to make a block. And again, if Mcglinchey gets this block, you see where Brunskill's trying to wall. That creates a lane right up here, and that turns into a much bigger play. It's all very minor. Again, the two huge miscues at the beginning of the play with Mike, or beginning of the game with Mike, just great play by JJ Watt. But guess what? Mike was able to win some. Mike was able to get some pancakes. Mike was able to make JJ Watt look silly too. So I don't know. I think it's a double-edged sword, right? I think we know what it is. It's a lot easier to focus on the negative plays from the offensive line to then really get in there to understand what the whys and the hows. But like I said, after I've went through it and I've seen everything, I feel better about the scheme. I feel better about what they were trying to do. It was a constant start-stop situation with this offense because of the offense. So this one with Mike, again, it's another technical thing. This is a hard block. You're out on an island. You get a little help from Juice. But right here, one of the things that he's been doing really, really well is been anticipating contact. He didn't anticipate contact here. Like, you see the way he gets caught like that? And so that's just him not being ready. It's just him not being ready. You can correct this. He's done this well multiple times. And so this is just, again, I think he gets in his head. I think he gets in his head about getting beat one of three ways: counter inside, counter outside, right through him. And so he doesn't get into his proper technique fast enough. And then this happens. So I think it's correctable. I think he can make it work. So wanted to take a stab at the tape. Damn, we've been doing this for a while. I get lost in the tape, as you can see. I didn't even realize it's been an hour and a half, over an hour and a half, hour and 45 minutes. We've been going through. So again, like I said, I was expecting to be a lot more like upset from the tape, but I'm actually not. I actually came away feeling okay. I actually came away feeling pretty happy about it. Considering the circumstance, considering the blown up plays, considering how well the defense, again, a big part of what we're seeing again is the defense scheming it up. The defense is doing a really, really good job of knowing where to be and being in position and doing all that kind of stuff. So that's part of it. And that's why, again, we look at Kyle Shanahan. We talk to Kyle, or like figuratively talk to Kyle about like being a little bit more creative, because there's a sense that these defenses know what we're trying to accomplish. We got the multiple plays where they know what's coming. They're selling out to stop it. And as a result, they're stopping it. And is that a function of the offensive line? It's really hard for an offensive lineman to stop someone who knows where the play is going and knows what technique you're trying to throw on them. And they already are preloaded knowing that stuff. The reason why the disguise and the threat of counters helps the offensive line is because it forces the defense to have to play multiple things. You know, play the counter, play the run up the middle, play the play action, do all that, do all this, and it slows them down, which gives the offensive line the ability to work. What happened here? Throw the deep ball to the fast guy. That always works. Yeah, that's it. That's Luke figured it out. Just throw it deep. Just throw it deep to the fast guy, right? That's how it works. All right. So what do we got here? So is this a zone read keeper? Whew. Imagine being a rookie. Imagine being a rookie and JJ Watt is free off the edge. It's a design. We're not going to block JJ Watt. We're just going to let him come straight at you. And you got to decide what to do. You got to decide what to do. God, that's terrifying. Shout out Brunskill. I like that ability. I really do. To be able to peel off this block, get the linebacker. These are the small things that Brunskill will never get credit for. These are the things that Brunskill will never get credit for. Like that speed. To be able to hit that, boom. That's nice. That's nice. Give my guy Brunny some love. Brunny needs some love, man. Do I got any other good Brunny plays? 22. All right. What's this? It just says, literally just says Brunskill Mike in my notes. So whatever that means. It says Brunskill and Mike. All right. Let's see what Brunskill and Mike is. Oh, I think we watched this one. This was the switch. Yeah, we saw that one. That's a switch. Try to throw a stunt at him. Both of them are ready for it. I don't know if we did watch this one. I don't think. But again, what I talk about with these two, people say these guys are a liability. Show me a stunt that gets home. These guys do not lose on stunts. They don't. They're really good at, and that's teamwork. And these two knowing how to work together. Again, look at that. Both got their hands punching, trying to stay free, keep the outside hand free. Love it. Love it. All right. So we did a big dive on offense today. Maybe do defense tomorrow. Might do the defensive breakdown tomorrow. I actually haven't gotten into the defensive tape yet. I've actually been really focused on the offense, believe it or not, the first 5 weeks. So defense definitely needs some love. So we'll do some defensive tape review as well, coming in the future, in the coming days. I hope you guys enjoyed the tape sessions. Again, I just kind of get lost sometimes in the tape. And clearly I have, as I'm now almost 2 hours in, not even realizing how long I've been going. I could literally talk about this all the time. It's a lot of fun. Like I said, just from my perspective, I feel much better about the study I've done surrounding all the original issues that I had. I think I feel a little bit more confident in regards to the scheme and the way it was executed. I know why these plays didn't work. And that isn't necessarily a function of the coach or the scheme or the timing of the play. There's a lot of different factors that went into why certain plays weren't successful. And it was everything. It literally was everything. It was all these different things kind of lumped into one. So again, would love to be breaking down a win. Would love to be breaking down a win. But at least we're breaking down Trey Lance, so that's kind of fun. offensive lineman could have played better in spots. Trey Lance could have made a couple better plays here or there. Running backs could have made a couple better cuts here or there. Wide receivers could have caught the ball a couple more times. I think one of the things that you've kind of maybe noticed and indicated, I didn't even show all of them. The 49ers missed George Kittle this game. The 49ers missed George Kittle this game. Why the run didn't work necessarily like we thought it would work. Remember that? Remember, like, why isn't the run game working? Well, when you dive into it, sometimes it came down to the very last block, and that last block was on Dwelly. Again, we're not coming down on Dwelly. It's also just to reiterate the importance of George Kittle and what he means to this team as a blocker and how important that's going to be to get him back. So hopefully, oh no, George Kittle's on IR. I forgot. Damn it. So sad. So sad. Kittle's on IR. So this is going to be something that we're going to have to be keeping an eye on. We're going to have to be keeping an eye on how the tight ends are blocking, how they're holding up. Because it hasn't been the best, at least in this game. I would actually say that's actually a tough shake. I would say the tight ends and O linemen were pretty equal with blocking miscues. Obviously, tight ends are crucial for blocking in the scheme, and when they make about half the mistakes that the offensive line makes, it just looks like all offensive line mistakes. So that makes me feel a little bit better about the offensive line. Is it just me, or can Lance not throw accurate? I think he can throw accurate. I think he throws his most accurate when he's in rhythm. I think they've tried a lot recently to mess with his mechanics. And when you mess with the mechanics, it might take a while. It might take a while to be pinpoint every single time. I think he's capable, and he's shown it. He's shown the ability to be very accurate. Someone mentioned the back shoulder Ayuk throw. If that was an intentional back shoulder, that was beautiful. If you see the it's just actually just happened right in front of us. If you saw the rope to the sideline, couldn't be any more accurate than that pass. Literally, Trey Lance put the ball in a spot only Trey Lance could get it. So he's capable. He's absolutely capable. Like, that pass is beautiful. Like, if this is an intentional back shoulder, this is that's the point, though. It has to be intentional. If Trey Lance process, like, I see this defender right here kind of baiting the inside breaking route, and he's going to play that leverage, then I got to throw it to the outside. So if that was the thought process, that he was able to process that, read it, and then throw it, that's elite of elite. Again, it becomes elite when that was the process. I don't know if that's the process. I don't know if that's how he saw it. I don't know if he got lucky with this throw. But like I said, if this was a thought process, like, oh, I got him playing kind of right here, ready to undercut and pick it, which is what he was doing. This could have been a pick. And so that's the point, is that it went from being a potential pick to, if this was an intentional back shoulder, you get a huge gain out of it as a result because of the quarterback. And of course, the wide receiver makes a great catch and run after the fact. So it is what it is. Where's my? Yeah, there it goes. What? You have to mess with mechanics. It was well documented that you would have to tighten them up if he's the franchise guy. You got to right the ship now, correct? I think what you're saying is you got to deal with the mechanical issues, is what you're saying, Luke? I think that's what you're saying. And I think that is part of it. You're kind of have to gonna live with the mechanical things because he is really good. And so let me see if I can find a good instance of this and just show a quick comparison of his hitch and how it changed in the game, which I don't know if this is an indication that he was hurt at this point, but let me see if he does it here. All right. So, what we're going to be watching mechanics wise is one of the things, like I talked about earlier, that they tried to correct is they tried to get rid of the bounce in his hitch. So, what they call a hitch is when you plant your drop step, that is a hitch. So, you can see he does this little hop into the hitch and a hop out. They don't like that. They're trying to cancel this. Just like John Gruden got canceled, they're trying to cancel this hitch out of his drop step. But this is the thing though. I think that's a part of him. I think that's who he is. I don't necessarily think like I want to take that out because he does really well with it. It like do you know what I mean? Like again, you see him sitting high, and then when he's ready to throw, he drops down. You see this drop about right here. They want him sitting in this position. They don't want the high upper body. They don't want the bouncing. They want it to be flat right here, just flat. Flat and rather than hopping into the hitch, they just want it to be like rigid, just foot in the ground. You're already in that flattened stance, and then you throw it. That's what they want. Um, but he does this hitch, but I like the hitch. I really do because I think it's a huge part of his rhythm. And I think when I've seen him try to take it out, it looks like it affects his rhythm. I don't know. I don't mind it. I know why they're trying to take it out. I know why they don't want it, but I think it works for him. So, I don't know. So this is one where he has the hitch. You see the bounce. You see that bounce and the wind up and all that. Let me see if I can find one where he doesn't have it. And this is why I think I didn't know if he had got hurt at this point. Let me see if I can find a good example. I'm kind of winging it here. So see that? See the bounce? It's not there. So this is why I think he got hurt sometime like later, the knee sprain. I don't know because the bouncy hitch disappeared mid game. So it's his left knee, which is affects the way he plants. But do you notice that? You notice how the hitch kind of dies? Like he's not really doing that jumpy thing. It's just plant go. But look at what happens. It's not an accurate pass. So that's the thing is when I see him doing that hitch bounce, whatever the hell you want to call it, he throws accurately. He does. It was his left knee, but you still need that left knee to be able to throw into. You all your weight transfers from your back leg to your front. So if you can't transfer your weight from your back to your front, you can lose power, or I think it could even sail on you, which is what happens here. But again, the comparison I'm showing is that he doesn't have that bounce anymore. He had an all game, and then something changed, and he's much flatter with his footwork. So, and as a result, you saw what happened. It was not a good pass. It didn't feel right. Like if we watched his rhythm earlier, we watched the rhythm earlier, it felt nice. It felt like He's just playing. That kind of just kind of turn and throw, not a lot of oomph coming from his base, and it sails on him. So I don't know. Like I said, he might have been hurt at this point. I don't know. I just noticed that his mechanics changed mid-game. So let's watch his mechanics here. See that? It's just not the same. He almost trips on his own foot. I don't know. I don't know what happened. His mechanics change mid-game. And this is what makes me nervous about when this kid has been working with quarterback coaches from August to May, goes to OTAs, they change his throwing mechanics again, but he keeps kind of like reverting. So I don't know. He's a rookie. He's still learning how to throw. I think he's mixed up. I think he's all mixed up. I think he's been trying to eliminate things, do all kinds of things, change things. But unfortunately, the mechanics weren't terrible to begin with. Again, it's weird to me. Again, let's watch it one more time. Take a mental picture of the hitch. We're focusing on the hitch. Weird. Almost tripped on his own feet. Normally, he plants and kind of hops. Plant hop. Let's take a look. See if we can find another example. Not a great example. That sack was on him, by the way. So see the hop? See the hop? It's a hop into the hitch, and then he hops out of it. So this is Trey Lance right here. Like, if we want to know who Trey Lance is, this is Trey Lance. This is raw Trey Lance. They're trying to change this about him. They're trying to change that bounce into the hitch, this bounce, and then bounce out. See that? They consider this wasted motion. Big time wasted motion. So I don't know. It's going to be a work in progress, and I'm okay with that. If this is what we get from the work in progress, I'm absolutely okay with that. So it's going to take time. It's going to take time. Oh yeah, big time. This affects the offensive line. This affects the offensive line. His depth and his drop back, huge to affect the offensive line and how they're blocking. Just changes rushing angles. Rage says, please let him do the hop. I like the hop. I like it. I'm not going to lie. I'm not a quarterback guru, but I'm also someone who wants to see a guy playing rhythm. And when you're trying to that feels like a rhythm thing to me. And look at how accurate that thing comes out. Things on a rope. Let's do this. I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about. Where's the Ayuk? 11-18. Watch him do it here. Watch the hop. Watch the hop. Where are we going to? We're going to 11:48. Okay, watch the hop. Watch. This is Trey Lance. This is Trey Lance. Hitch, hop. See that? Hitch. And it's like this rhythm progression. They don't like that. They want him to hit that back foot. They want this foot right here to be that foot. They're trying to eliminate that motion. They want it to be like this, and they're just trying to get rid of that. But you see the little bounce, and watch the way the throw comes out. See that? I'm just saying, like, I get them trying to fix the mechanics and all, but I like it. I like it personally. I like the little jump rhythm, the rhythm hop. I don't know what to call it. Little bunny hop. Again, he's got it here. Boom, boom. Little hop step. Little hop. I like it. We'll come over here. Looked like he did it again. Was accurate. Let's see. I think we got a little rhythm hop here. See? He did that little rhythm. It's a little rhythm hop. You see it, Rage. The little rhythm hop. Little It's like the way he's setting up his leverage and drive on the football. It's this little hop thing that he does. It still gets it out. So, I don't know. But I think also too, he's trying not to do it. So it doesn't he's so mixed up with his mechanics right now. So I don't know, man. I know they don't like it. I'll eventually pull the clip where I noticed it in the off season where they changed his mechanics. Oh, what a throw. What a throw. Sheesh. How about we end it on this one? We'll end it on this pretty throw. I might do a more specific Trey Lance breakdown in the next day or two. I know I was all over the place. This was more just a offense in general breakdown, and I might get a little bit more specific. Obviously, over 2 hours. These are the organic film sessions. The 2-hour sessions are the organic film sessions where we just watch tape. So we'll end it there. What is it? It's 5, 6 o'clock. What's our blocking look like up front? Oh, all right. I think Mike did a good job here. Oh, he got a chip, but the chip helped. Step up in the pocket. Love it. Love the step up in the pocket. Flush through. Find Debo. It's pretty. I like it. I'll take that all day. I really will. I just want my guy to play in rhythm. That's all. That's all. So, yeah, I kind of agree with this, Luke. I think it's really hard to change it now. Or keep, I don't know. I don't know what the answer is. Like I said, I'm not a quarterback coach, so I'm not a quarterback mechanic expert. I'll be the first to admit that. I'll talk about the offensive line technique all day. I can only observe what I know and have seen. So, but I think there's promise. I think there's tons of promise here. I think Trey Sermon should have got the ball more and all that good stuff. But I appreciate you guys watching. I appreciate you. If you've sat through this whole thing, I don't know how you did it. Kudos to you. I always have fun pulling on the tape. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. And will join me in the future for future film breakdowns and just watching the tape together and seeing what we got. seeing what the real story is, because guess what? Tape doesn't lie. And that all 22, man, it really makes a big difference when you're watching interior play. So it is what it is. Like I said, I'm happier than I was going in, which is a good sign. And so hopefully that continues to happen throughout the season. And hopefully we correct it, and we're looking at a lot cleaner tape, like we had some examples of earlier in the year. So that's the hope. We absolutely miss Kittle for sure. Let's go. 2 hours strong, Peyton. We see you. So, like I said, we'll be back tomorrow. We'll do it again. Thank you guys all. You guys have a great rest of your night. Shout out all of you guys for joining and watching and contributing. As always, it was a lot of fun.